Comic Book Savant, episode 341.
I know this. This I know. All that I have, all that is me, resides inside my poetry. And every time I write a rhyme, it might be the line that sets mine free. And also, I know that I don't...
Welcome to the Comic Book Savant podcast. I'm your host, James Harris. This week, I'm going to do a follow-up to an episode I did a few back. I did a preview talking about Injustice 2 right before the game released. I was on the fence about the game because I felt like it was a little bit overexposed, but since then the reviews came in. I ended up picking up the game a week or so after it came out, and I've been playing it quite a bit, so I wanted to actually talk about the game, give it a review, talk about some of the features of it, because it's something that I haven't covered a ton in the time I've been doing the show, talking about comic book video games, and this is a podcast about all things comic books and the media related to it, and video games would be one of those things. So I got a pretty decent reception to when I did the preview, so I figured I would do a review since I actually did get the game in hand. But before we get into all of that, as always, I'd like to give a shout out to my friends over at the Comics Podcast Network. You can find them over at comicspodcast.com. If you like this podcast and you want to find more material and more podcasts related to comic books and the world around comic books, definitely check out the Comics Podcast Network. It has grown tremendously over the years. There are literally hundreds of different podcasts to listen to. So if you like this show and you want to find more comic book related podcasts, definitely go there. It's a great jumping off points. And like I said, it's literally hundreds of different podcasts listed there based on your favorite publisher, favorite team, favorite character, you name it. It's just a vast variety to choose from there. So definitely, if you have a moment, stop by the Comics Podcast Network over at comicspodcast.com. And last but not least, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor for this episode, which is InStockTrades.com, one of the best places you can go online when you're looking for collected editions, absolute editions, omnibus, you name it. They pretty much have it. They have discounts ranging from 35 to 42 up to 50% off on their deals of the week. They will have on their homepage a section right on the front page at the top of their current deals of the week. They update it weekly. I want to say they do it once a week. I want to say it's like Tuesday or Wednesday. They update it with five. I think they spotlight about 5 books. So it constantly changes, and you get discounts up to 50% off on that. So you definitely want to check out In Stock Trades when you have a moment. Also, if you're a U.S. customer and you order $50 or more, you get free shipping within the U.S. That is if you're a U.S.-based customer. Unfortunately, if you are a international customer, you still get all the great savings, but you just don't get that free shipping that is limited to U.S. customers. But you can still save a ton of money, so don't let that deter you from not picking up any books. And they have some of the most competitive and discounted rates around for international shipping, so you can still save a ton. So definitely check out InStockTrades.com, and I thank them for supporting the show. Now, getting into this episode, like I said, a few back, I did like a preview, and, I spoke on Injustice 2 and how much I loved the first game, Injustice Gods Among Us. So with this follow-up, a lot of reviews came in. They got a lot of high marks. I was teetering on the fence. I kind of been saving money, putting aside for my my one game that I've been playing for about 3 years now, Destiny, and its sequel's coming out. So I was like, well, I got time to kind of recoup that money. I didn't go all out because, the thing about Injustice in most video games, if any of you guys are gamers, you can attest to, the landscape of navigating like a big game release, something like Injustice, which again, the first game was a hit. This was a popular game that is coming out with a sequel. It's been a few years since the first game was out and people were clamoring for it. you had options in buying it, because most games now you have a standard edition, you'll have a digital deluxe edition, and then like an ultimate edition that has all the bells and whistles attached to it. So you had different options to choose from. For me, I didn't. It's a hard thing now. Because we're on limited budgets. We buy comics, we buy movies, we go to movies. We have so much other things going on in our lives. So like it becomes a very, deep decision on what you're going to spend your money on and how much money you have for recreational activities. So when I was looking at it this time, and I initially talked about this, and I can go into it a little bit deeper this time, is like, with the 3 editions, the standard edition was $59.99. That's the edition. I just, bought it digitally off the PlayStation Store because I play on the PlayStation 4 exclusively. So I grabbed the standard edition because I was on the fence about what came in the other 2 packages. In the digital deluxe edition, you get 3 DLC characters. You get 1 premier skin that changes the total appearance of a character. And the premier skin you got with the digital deluxe edition was you got a Power Girl premier skin for Supergirl in the game, and you got the God Shader pack. And that edition was $79.99. So you're paying $20 more. You're getting the first. I'm assuming they never specified. They just said 3 DLC characters. They had already announced the first about a week before the game was released. They released a trailer showing you what the first 3 DLC fighters were going to be. It says 3 DLC characters. I'm assuming it's the first 3 that's going to be released because they pretty much already announced they're going to do 9 total, and they're going to be staggered throughout time. That's how they did in the first game. With Injustice: Gods Among Us, they announced 5 DLC characters. The game was so popular and the characters they were adding became so popular, they added 3 more and ended up being 8. 7 or 8, I can't remember. I spoke on that in the previous episode without going back looking at the notes because it's been a while ago. But this time, it's 9 characters announced. So from as far as the digital deluxe edition is concerned, my assumption is that you get the first 3 fighters. I don't think you have an option like to pick and choose what 3 you want from anything that I've seen or heard at this point. And I'll go a little further into that in a little bit. And then you had the Ultimate Edition where you get all 9 DLC characters when they're released. You get 3 premier skins in the game. You get the Power Girl that works on Supergirl that convert, that you'll get the look that will switch over the Power Girl. You have a premier skin for Flash that turns Flash into Reverse Flash. And then you have the Green Lantern premier skin, which is Jon Stewart for Green Lantern. And, they had the Jon Stewart was an additional skin that you could buy for Green Lantern in the first game as well. So it's cool that they did that. Maybe like to see a Kyle Rayner and maybe even a Guy Gardner premiere skins for them at some point. And the game just released, so sometime we might see those things. But it was cool that they did that throwback to the Jon Stewart because they did it originally with the first game as well. Also with the Ultimate Edition, you get the Demons and God Shader packs. They're 2 separate packs. One, the Gods pack is like, it's more of a the white glowing eyes, like they're gods, and the white kind of effect to them. And the demon shaders, they got the black eyes and all the dark renditions. And when you get these shader packs, it actually applies to every character you have in the game immediately, which is kind of cool. It's not just one for one character; it applies immediately across all characters. Right now, you can't buy those shader packs separately. You only can get them. You can only get the God Shader pack in the Digital Deluxe Edition, or if you do the Ultimate Edition, you get that and the Demon Shader. They don't have it available where you can purchase them separately yet. Maybe after the game's been out a little while longer, they might have it where you can buy those separately for a few dollars. As of right now, you can't. Now, since the game has been released, the one cool thing they did, like for someone like myself, again, I wasn't trying to spend a full $100 as far as the DLC stuff, and we only know what the first 3 characters are, which is Red Hood, Starfire, and Sub-Zero from the Mortal Kombat series. Again, Injustice is made by Nether Realm Studios, which is known for other Mortal Kombat games. They did a similar thing in the first Injustice game in Gods Among Us, where you had Scorpion as a DLC character. So they switched it up this time and did Sub-Zero. So we do know the first 3 characters. Now, the add-ons that they have, you can upgrade if you bought any of the other editions at any point, you can upgrade for $39.99, and it'll automatically upgrade your package to the Ultimate package, and you get all the bells and whistles that were included in that. Which I guess is a cool option, because you might not have the money right now, but if you choose to down the road and you get the money, you just can buy that little package. It'll automatically unlock that stuff in the game, and you get the Ultimate package that they were selling, which is kind of cool that you have that option after if you don't go with it initially and you change your mind, you can go later. And it's not costing you anything different, because you paid the base price and you're just paying the difference between the two, basically. Also, they have a Fighter Pack 1, which is you get 1 Premier skin, so you get the Power Girl Premier skin, and then you get the first 3 characters of DLC: Red Hood, Starfire, Sub-Zero, and you get the God Shader pack. And that's $20. And it's essentially exactly what you get with the Digital Deluxe Edition by paying the $20. So you can upgrade from the standard and pay $20 and upgrade to the Digital Deluxe, essentially, or pay the $40. So they give you those options built in there, which is cool, because sometimes, again, you might want to just get a feel for the game and see how you really like it. And if you choose to invest in it, you can do it later, and maybe down the road, later in the summer, those packs might be discounted, so you might actually be able to save money on holding off getting those. And I'm going to talk about all of that in a little bit as well when I get further into the game. Now, some of the features that were unknown to me then that have, since the game has been released and the reviews hit, that they have the Brother Eye Vault. So, again, one of the big upgrades to this game, and Injustice 2 from Injustice 1, is they implemented a gear system and gear sets. And it's really, really cool, because it allows you to customize your look and your feel for your character. They literally have, I'm not going to say hundreds, I want to say thousands of different options for gear pieces. Well, probably hundreds per character, so thousands total. And it's really, I thought it was a gimmick when they first kind of said, yeah, now we have gear. It's so smart, especially with a property like DC. So many characters over the years have had so many different outfits, so many different uniforms. They really play into that with the gear sets. Some gear pieces don't have any stats to them, some do, some have actual bonuses. And the cool thing about that is you have different play modes. So you have all the online competitive stuff, you have online rank matches, you have this regular online one-on-one that is not as competitive. When you play in the competitive rank matches, your gear that you have is just cosmetic. You won't get any bonuses if bonuses are attached to that gear. When you go into the other big mode, in the first game, they had it was called Star Labs, and you had different little things that would come up. on different worlds or whatever, and you would go and you had different challenges, and certain ones had modifiers, and you would do that to unlock certain stuff in the game. Here it's a little bit different. Here they have the multiverse, and they have a screen where you go in and you see the different planets, and they're on different time schedules, which I think is really awesome, which lends heavily into the replayability of the game, because you still have your standard story mode, you still have your online multiplayer fighting stuff. They have, like, in the multiplayer, they have one-on-one, they have ranked, they even have like King of the Hill, which was really cool, where you go in online, you get in a queue, and you're in a lobby, and you actually watch the matches as they go on, and you're queued in, and if you win, you keep playing till you lose. And the people that are spectating can actually bet on or choose who they think is going to win, and if that person they pick wins, you get bonus credit in the game for in-game credit for you to buy items. So I thought it was really inventive mode. I don't know, because I didn't play Mortal Kombat X at all, so I don't know if some of this stuff was brought over from that. I've been catching up, watching some streams from Nether Realm on Twitch, trying to see. I know certain things that they brought in from Mortal Kombat X and then implemented over to the game, similar that they took certain features from the first Injustice and implemented those things that worked into Mortal Kombat. So it's reiterative, because they do as far as their schedule normally goes with NetherRealm, the two main franchises they have is Mortal Kombat and Injustice now. So they reiterate from those two and implement to make each game better. But as far as what I heard how they play slightly differently, and I really enjoy the play style of Injustice, which eventually what sucked me in. But the gear sets are totally addictive, because you want to get the different looks. You have gear, you have shaders. They even have guilds in there. I started up a guild. I don't have it pulled up, but I'll have the information in the show notes on the website on what the guild is on there. If you want to join, if you do have Injustice, that's cool. We only got like 3 members now, but if you play Injustice and you're on the PlayStation 4, you can join the guild, and it's just a really fun experience, and it was more robust than what I thought. They showed off a lot of all the characters' super moves and the character trailers leading up to the release. And I'm like, man, what's gonna be left to explore in the game? The story mode is just crazy. I just saw Wonder Woman and did a review on Wonder Woman. I'll lie to you not. The best DC EU movie, well, it's not an EU movie, but the best DC movie I saw this year was the Injustice 2 story. I'm not going to lie. The cinematics are insane. Top quality. The story's engaging. The voice acting talent they have throughout. They plucked from some of the DC animated universe, people. You have Kevin Conroy as Batman. They picked some of the people that do the animated movies, some from the old cartoons. It's a whole mixture, and it really works, and it's done well. And I was really blown away, because the first story, and then Justice, when you play through the story, Gods Among Us, it was decent. It was decent. There's something different. It was an original story, and I really liked it. They just bumped it up. The production, they just kicked it up to so high to another level. And it's about, I think some people have actually cut all the cutscenes together and posted it on YouTube as a movie. So even if you're not interested in the game, do a search for Injustice 2 movie, and it's like about 2.5 hours long, and it's worth, if you're just a comics fan, it's worth watching. Literally, it's worth watching. If they were smart, they would release this out as a movie, maybe maybe around Christmas time, after the game has kind of been out and people have played it, they make money hand over fist. It's so good. I was totally shocked and blown away how engaging the story was and how invested I found myself from the very opening cinematic. It opens like a movie and it plays throughout, and then it's seamless, and it just shows how, you know, graphics in video games have progressed, because it is so seamless how it can be in a cutscene and then launch into a fight. It, like, sometimes I got caught off guard and like the bad guy got to jump on me because I was still just stunned by the visuals and didn't realize it transitioned directly into a fight from the cutscene. And I think I had to like make sure I kept on my P's and Q's because I was so engrossed in the story and what was being said. Another thing that they really got right with this, and this is what I was going to speak on with the different packages, because it can be overwhelming. I know for me, it was overwhelming when I saw, okay, I have this option, this option, this option, far as the additions, the add-ons, all that. Scrap all that. If you're just interested about the game and you want to try the game, buy the base game. You know what I mean? Just buy the $59.99 like I did. One thing I learned after I got the game and started playing the game, the multiverse constantly changes, like I said before. It is different planets. They have different lengths of time that they last. They have some harder planets that are there for like a week, 2-3 days, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours. They all alternate, and when one expires, it disappears and another one reappears. And don't feel, because I just learned this, don't feel bad if you're trying to accomplish a goal and you can't get to the game, because it's constantly in flux. In the multiverse mode, worlds are constantly popping in and out. You don't have any control over that. Real life exists. But that still keeps going. Those timers still keep going. For the shorter ones, don't feel bad if you miss something and a friend said, oh, this was available in this multiverse, now it's gone. What I saw, they did a stream last week, because that started being a question that a lot of people were saying, hey, this multiverse was available, and, you know, they had this gear or these rewards and I missed out on it. You don't have to worry about it. They have it on a rotating schedule, so they have plenty. But even if one has came up, it stays in the system and it cycles through on a. They have a whole algorithm, so those worlds will pop back up during the life of the game. So you might miss it early, but it will come back around eventually. So that's the cool thing about that. So you have different levels of in-game currency. You have credits, you have regen tokens, you have guild credits. And this is one thing that really plays in. I play online a little bit to try to test my skills, but I'm more like a single player unless I'm playing along with friends. The playability that they added with the multiverse mode and even the guild mode, they have so in the multiverse you have the regular single player multiverse where you just go into that world. You will have a ladder system like in all the Mortal Kombat games. You had a tiered battling system. So they had like the tower. So you'll have depending on the tower on that world. So say, perfect example. And I'm gonna do the Comic Book Savant video for this week will be, I'll have some footage of the game. You won't see my face. It'll just be me on voiceover, and I'm going to walk through some of these features that I'm talking about so you can actually see it realized. If you haven't seen the game or any footage of the game, you can check it out for yourself, so to help you determine, if it's something you're interested in or not. But just a perfect example on how it is set up is that you go to a multiverse world. It'll say it's available for 3 hours. And you go, and it might have 3 towers, and one tower might have 3 villains 3 people you have to fight. One might have 5, and then another will have 8. Well, when you go into that multiverse, that first tower you see that has 3 people you have to fight, it'll tell you when you complete this, you'll get this reward. One of the rewards, the main reward system, besides the credits, are mother boxes, and mother boxes will drop you gear for your character, shaders for your character, and abilities for your character, and they're tiered on different levels. They have the bronze, the silver, the gold, and you can buy those with credits you earn in a game. Then you also have diamond and platinum. Those you cannot purchase, and they're the best ones, and they have the highest rate of dropping what's called epic gear, which is the highest tier of gear you can get, and the most unique gear in the game, because you have uncommon, you have common, uncommon, rare, and then epic are the tiers of the gear. Again, epic is the best gear, so that's what everyone's shooting for. So when you tackle a particular multiverse tower, it's always going to be some type of reward attached to it. It will be, you might get if you beat these 3 fighters, you might get 1,000 credits, and you might get a regen token, which will help you. Regen tokens are attached to upgrading your gear. So if you got something at level that was when you were level 3, and now you're level 20, because all your characters max out at level 20, as far as the progression system. So if you get some gear that's level 2 and now your character's level 20, but you love the way it looks, you can use that regen token and it will upgrade or re-roll the stats to that piece of gear, and it'll bring it up to whatever level you are at that time. But the only thing about it when you use a regen token is that your traits, if it has a trait to it or have a special ability to it, it might change because it's re-rolling it. It'll raise the level, but then you have to then decide, like, oh, I like the stats on this, and I don't have those stats now. Those might change. So that's one thing that you have to take in consideration when you do when you regenerate gear. But it's a cool system. Certain, like I said, if you just play online a lot, you don't really have to worry about the traits. You just want to raise the level of your gear. You can do it. So it's on par as far as the basic stats. You still have your basic, like, hit points, hit points. What's the other stats? Hit points, defense, ability is another category. So you have your core categories there that, they will help raise up as well. And then they, like I said, they have other special abilities they can get, but those will shift as well when you do the re-roll using a regen token. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind. So you go through those, and then within that particular multiverse world, you have those 3 towers, but then it'll have world objectives. So normally it's 3 of them. And it could be like you might need to play one event on that world with a specific character, or you need to hit a particular number of super moves, or do something in a certain time. They have different objectives queued into the overall world. So you get rewards for beating each individual event on that multiverse world, and it can range. Sometimes it's like 1, sometimes it could be 3, it could be sometimes on a world that is like 5 different towers or 6 different towers with various levels of ladder of villains, or not villains, but just characters you have to battle against on that ladder, on that tower, on that one. And after you beat each one, you get you're getting rewards. And then if you're willing to complete the objectives, you'll get a bonus thing when you complete the objectives for that multiverse world. So you get plenty of opportunities to get mother boxes dropped to you to get gear to keep advancing your character and give your character different looks. They have ability slots. So the ability slots are cool, and they didn't talk about this before the game came out, which is really cool. Like particular special moves that maybe have been in the first game, or you'll get ability cards dropped to you that you can put and customize your character even further with these special abilities. So you don't just have your move set and your super move. You can adjust and change those based on these ability cards. And I don't know how many you have 2 slots. You have 2 ability slots, but I've gotten as many as 5 or 6 different ability cards that I can pick and choose to customize my individual character and his play style with those cards. But you have 2 slots, but you can switch out, and some abilities take up both cards. So you have to pick and choose wisely your strategy on your particular player on what ability you want to insert in your slots and to use to make your character even further your own. So when they touted customization, they weren't lying on how much you can really get into your individual characters and customize your play style accordingly to the way you like to play the game. Now I'm going to talk about the roster again, just to run through quickly. You have Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Supergirl, Gorilla Grodd, Atrocitus, Cyborg, Cheetah, Catwoman, Swamp Thing, Black Canary, Robin, Damian Robin, Brainiac, Poison Ivy, Bane, Blue Beetle, The Flash, Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Deadshot, Dr. Fate, Green Lantern, Firestorm, Green Arrow, Black Adam, Captain Cold, Scarecrow, Darkseid, Joker, and Red Hood is actually for people that have the digital deluxe or any of the deluxe editions, pre-order editions. Get Red Hood actually today, because I'm recording Tuesday morning, which is June 13th. So he's actually dropped today. If you didn't have the Fighter Pack, the digital deluxe edition or ultimate edition, you have to wait a week, and you can purchase him next week on the 20th for everyone else. One thing that NetherRealms is doing that's pretty cool, they said on their stream last week, they're setting up a special multiverse world that'll last for the whole week, they said, where you get to play through a Red Hood multiverse world and play through events with him to test the character out to see if you like him, if you don't already own him, and then you can decide next week when he becomes available to everyone that didn't get the other editions, the advanced, the upgraded editions. You can decide if you want to, hey, I like his moveset, he's kind of cool. And they said they're going to be doing stuff like that going forward with the other characters as they drop for release. So I thought that was really cool that you can kind of get to test drive the character for a week before you want to decide you want to, purchase the character. Now, I'm assuming, this is an assumption because I don't know 100% for sure. Now, a pre-order bonus was, I think whenever you pre-ordered the game, you got, you automatically got Brainiac by pre-ordering the game. And I think if you pre-ordered, maybe it was the deluxe edition, you also got Darkseid for pre-ordering. Or maybe it was vice versa. Can't remember exactly. But you got both of them as pre-order bonuses. But I think like when you got the Ultimate Edition, you also got Darkseid and Brainiac. Now, this is another thing, because this was confusing. I bought the game about a week after or so, almost 2 weeks after the game came out. They had Darkseid available, and I think they had Brainiac available as well as an option. You can buy them for $5.99. So my assumption is, since they're selling at $5.99, the other DLC characters going forward will be $5.99. I want to say back when Injustice 1 came out, because again, they added 3 more fighters. I think they were $4.99, so they've gone up about $1. The work that they put into the individual characters, and how polished they look. They have, even like with the Premier skins, which I thought was really awesome. Like the Premier skins, like when you use the Premier skin for Supergirl, it looks like Power Girl. And the crazy thing is that like, even like, we know Power Girl is known for her let's say her bosoms. Like literally it's converted, and her breasts are actually large, like Power Girls. Like, it was funny. Like, I was like, is that for real? Because like you can preview the things that you don't have unlocked, and I like really looked, and I was like, wow, like they really. It's still like the same character model at the base, but she has the Power Girl outfit on, and she has the cleavage is definitely, I like went back and forth like, wow, that's crazy. They went that detailed with it. Different voice actress, the whole nine. Same thing with like the Green Lantern skin. They got Phil Lamar that did the voice from the Justice League cartoon for Jon Stewart. He does the voice for the premiere skin for Jon Stewart. And they have their own intros, and that's another cool thing I didn't want to leave out. The intros before the matches, and like they have like a clash system, like when they get up close, and depending on like where your bar is, this is getting real technical into the game. If you haven't played the first one, you would be kind of at a loss. But it's a clash system where you get in close, and they'll make little snide comments depending on the engine in the game is so smart. Depending on the characters you're playing as and who you're fighting against, depending on the storyline from the first game, or even they have a comic book series. I think the Injustice comic ran from right before the game came out till a little while ago, leading into the launch of the new game, and now they have an Injustice 2 comic. So it's a persistent world that's been going on in these comics, and it's done extremely well. I've never read the comic. It's normally video game comics are kind of hit or miss, and I always used to be a sucker for them, so I kind of like I'm going to keep away from it. But I've heard a lot of good things for friends that it's a really strong comic, and it ran for the whole entirety of since the game came out, and now they're starting a new one. As far as what I know, is doing well. So it's cool that they have interactions that make you wonder, like, man, I might need to go back and read the comic, which I thought that was, was really cool touch to it. And all of those are even different with those premiere skins. It's different voice actors, different mannerisms, the different look. It's not just a different look, and they're saying the same lines, a dialogue. No, it changes, which is really, really cool. I can't say enough about this game. It's become my new addiction. I've been playing it, not like anytime I'm playing games right now, I'm finding myself going back to Injustice, trying to grind the multiverse, get new gear. They have another cool thing is that they have game objectives like that come up daily, and it'll prompt you to play more. And like you get mother boxes, you get bonus mother boxes for it. It'll be like, play 3 ranked matches today, you'll get a mother box. It'll be like do 15 sweeps. You do that in any mode that you're playing. If your character sweeps 15 times, you get an extra mother box. So it's so many ways to get currency and gear in the game. Every match, everything you do in the game, you will get credit, gear, and potentially mother boxes dropped to you to get more gear. You can't, it's so incentivized to play every mode as much as possible. Also, the guild setup is great. So everyone contributes. There's different tiers and there's different objectives that you do in the guild. The guild has its own multiverse. You have a single player multiverse mode. When you go into the guild, it has another one. It's a harder tiered level, but you attack it as a group. They have like one world, and it's multiple events on that world and multiple towers. As you attack them and you get so many completions as a guild, you unlock more rewards. The cool thing is when you complete something as a guild, everybody gets rewards from it, not just the one person, everyone. So I thought that part was cool, that everyone contributes in the bigger picture and everyone gets rewarded for it. So you're working together as a team to accomplish more, to get more cool stuff in the game and get more bonuses and extra things. They have a lot tied to it. Again, we only have 3 guild members, myself, and 2 other people. One of my guys is a friend from my we have a gaming clan or gaming group called TDB that we put together. We most of us met through playing Destiny together, and we've been playing together for about 2 years now. We met about a year into Destiny. So Destiny 2 is about to come out, and we spread out to other games. Not all of us play other games. There's about, I want to say about 20 of us, but one of the guys in there actually super comic book fan like myself. So he's in the group, and then a random person joined up. I don't know if it's a listener or whatever. They never said anything. They just kind of joined. Because I had put out on Instagram, I put out a post with the the guild name and the guild ID so you can pull it up. One person joined after that, I assume, but they don't communicate in the things. I don't know. But we have 2 other members besides myself. So if you want to join, I'll post back on Instagram, or you can go back and see that post where I literally, I post what the guild ID, and I think I also posted it on Facebook. I have this discussion group, the Comic Book Savant discussion group up too. So if you want to go on Facebook and you want to join the Comic Book Savant discussion group, do that, and I'll post it there also. So you can go multiple places to get the info, because like I said, I didn't have it pulled up in front of me right now, but you can do that. So I thought that was cool, that it encourages you to play the different modes to get different bonuses, and I've unlocked so much gear. The epic gear, of course, is the hardest to come by, but they give you ways to easily to earn those things. Now, you have another currency that's called source crystals. Now, source crystals you earn throughout doing certain things, and you have different levels. So your character has they level up to 20, and then you as a player, you have your profile, and it has XP related to it. As your player profile goes up, you get source crystals. Source crystals can be bought through the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, and you can use them to buy the Premier skins, because it's not just the 3. It's they have a Premier skin for Cheetah that will turn Cheetah into Vixen. It's a couple other Premier skins related to the Flash. It's a Guy Garrick one. So it's Guy Garrick and Reverse Flash. And so it's other ones that you can actually purchase using source crystals. You can buy shaders, and not all shaders can be bought. And I thought this was a cool thing. Certain shaders have to drop to you through a mother box, but most of them, about 80% of the shaders in the game, you can buy with source crystals if you really want a particular shader and you can't, you've been opening mother boxes like crazy and it hasn't dropped to you yet. And it varies how many shaders a particular character has. Some characters have like 6. Like someone like Green Lantern, the cool thing they did with Green Lantern, they did like all the emotional spectrum. So Green Lantern, where other characters might have 5 or 6 shaders, Green Lantern has like 10 different shaders. And they have all the different armors in there. And that's like the customization. And if you're a comic nerd like we are, it's just like having you can give him, the Saint Walker Blue Lantern look. You can give him the a Yellow Lantern outfit, the gears in the game with the chest piece. You can get the shader, so you can do it. The Black Lantern, you have that look to it. It's so much customization built into the game that you can play around with and make the characters look any iteration that you've known in the comics. You can pretty much put together, and they got in the game with the different shaders and then some other looks in there. It's all in there for you to play around with. So it's a big sandbox as a comic fan that you can make the characters look like you want, fight how you want. They did a big thing when the Wonder Woman movie came out 2 weeks ago, that they had a week-long event in a multiverse where you could go through this path, and it was hard because I had to grind. But you can get the and I posted a picture on Instagram of that, and on Facebook too, I think, that I got the Wonder Woman movie gear set. So I have this epic gear set that was related to it. They put up a multiverse, and as you played through the multiverse, there was different things that you had to accomplish in that multiverse world, and it went for a week. So it gave you time to work and build to it. You could get the whole gear set from the movie, which was awesome and looks so good. So it's a lot of little hooks that that I think if you're a comics fan and you like video games, even if you're not great at video games, you really can just play the single player and take your time and learn how to play the game. It's extremely fun as a comics fan to go through and play through, and the story's really good as well. Again, I want to in the future look into the comic to kind of see what I'm missing there. So I'll look to pick up a few of those, or maybe at least the first trade of the Injustice and trade and the first trade of the series, and check it out and see if it pulls me in from there. So I'll be looking to review that down the road. That's all that I have for you guys this week. This is a must-get game if you're just a fan of comics, DC Comics, and video games in general. And like I said, you don't have to be because I'm not a what is it? I'm not an extreme gamer. Like I'm more of a casual gamer. But this is the most excited I've been about a game in a while, and like really just sitting, pouring hours into at a time. And it's really like trying to get the gear, trying to customize the characters the way I want them to look. It really sucks you in, and it's really fun. And I find it very, very rewarding. Like I said, and you can get a lot of this stuff in the game. Now, the one thing I will say, I highly recommend this game. I would have to say if I was rating this game on a 10-point scale, I have to give it like I don't know if I can give it a 10, but I don't see anything wrong with the game. I would have to give it a strong 9 out of 10. No, I would say a 9 out of 10 because it remains to be seen at this point. And I like how you can earn all the other stuff. So the Premier shaders, you can earn source crystals. It will take you a long time because it costs a lot of source crystals to unlock one of the Premier skins. And it's kind of expensive to even unlock. I bought one shader with source crystals. It was this really cool alternate shader for Robin that was a red Robin alternate shader, and I have been opening up red mother boxes like crazy, and I couldn't get it, and I was like, I just want it. I think I saw it on a YouTube video, and I was like, it's awesome, and I looked in the thing, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that shader was there, and I went back and forth on it. I had about 20,000 source crystals. I think it cost shaders cost about 4,000 source crystals, and the Premier skins, and I'm doing this from memory, I want to say one of the Premier skins, if you buy it, is 6,000 source crystals. So it takes a while to earn that money, that much. You can buy source crystals. I think you can buy like 2,000 of them for like $2, and they have different packages available. But then you kind of run into this thing of, those source crystals cost money, right? If you're going to buy a substantial amount, $20 or $40, then you might as well take that $20 or $40 and just upgrade the game, because you'll get most of those things that you would buy. The other stuff you will get eventually, or you can buy through the source crystals you earn in the game. So, like I said, if you're going to buy $40 of source crystals, why? Do the upgrade to the Ultimate Edition. You get the base. You won't get all of them, but you get I think you get all of the Flash ones. You get the Green Lantern one. You get the Power Girl. You only need 6,000 to get the Vixen one. I'm trying to see right now. I think that's all of the Premier skins in the game. It's the Cheetah Vixen. It's the Power Girl, Supergirl, Jay Garrick and Reverse Flash for Flash, and for Green Lantern, the John Stewart. So you get half of those if you just do the Ultimate Edition, and then you could save up and get the other two from the source crystals that you earn in the game. Or if you want to just buy a couple of dollars worth, it's a lot different than paying $40 to get specific stuff. And it would just be cheaper to get the Ultimate Edition, and you get all, the bulk of it. So then, too, just be smart when you're spending your money and how you're spending it, because they do set it up that it's cheaper if you buy the players individually. Like I said, when you buy the $5.99 per character, you do the math. Even for the 3 characters, you're doing $6 a pop for those 3 characters. If you just pay $20, you get those 3 characters, and you get that God shader pack. It's $20. They're gonna get their money either way. So just be cautious about it. Like I said, they've only released details on those first 3. It's still 6 characters that are floating out there that they're going to stagger them. Red Hood just came out. I don't know if they're going to do a character per month. So I don't know when that next trailer will drop on what the next 3 characters will be, since we've got one out of the first 3. Time will tell. If you check out Twitch, Nether Realm Studios has a Twitch channel They do, it's called the Watchtower Twitch stream. I want to say they do it on, they vary, because they do one on the mobile game that they just started up of Injustice 2, and they do one on the game. I think the one for the game is normally Wednesdays. But E3's this week, and some of them said they were going to be at E3, so I don't know what the streaming schedule is going to be like. And they give updates about the game and where things are going, so that's a cool resource as well. Like I said, I went back looking at the archives, and then I watched the most recent one to get some information. So more is to come, and I think they're going to, because they did it in the first game. They had skin packs, but now with the premiere skins and the different shaders and the different gear, they can do a lot of that in game that you can earn with credits. And like I said, you can buy with credits you can buy only bronze, silver, and gold mother boxes, and they can be expensive. But if you just grind the multiverse mode, you can get as many mother boxes as you want for free. And then it's also, I meant to mention this too, you have different loadouts. So when you unlock your character to level 20, you get 5 different loadouts. So you can have, one for multiverse mode. You can have one for online competitive. You have 2 AI slots. And this is one thing that I thought was cool. They have a mode where you can set up the your AI, and they have I think 5 or 6 different categories that you can customize to your play style. The artificial intelligence for your particular character, and you have a mode where you can battle. You can send 3 of your characters out and have them fight another player online AI, and you can get mother boxes from that. I think you limit it to 5 per day. You can get 5 for that, depending if you win or lose, what type you get. If you get a gold or a silver or a bronze, but I think you only can get gold or bronze. Like if you win, you get gold, and if you lose, you get bronze. You can do that for a certain amount of day. You can get 5 by doing that, and it helps your character level up as well. So you literally you can set up the AI, and they have a mode also in the multiverse world that's called Battle Simulator. So you can pick a character, pick your AI loadout, send it in, and watch the game play while it helps you level up, and you still get gear dropped to you, experience, mother boxes, all that kind of stuff by doing that in the Battle Simulator, which I think is totally cool. And if you're trying to learn the game, you can sit there and watch it and learn strategies on how to play with your character at the same time. So I really thought that was a really neat feature that I just learned about going back watching the streams, that was a whole other section in the game. So this game has depth, and it'll keep you busy, especially if you're looking for something to the fall comes, and if you're a gamer and all the big releases start to hit. This is a game that will keep me preoccupied. I hadn't bought a new game in a while, and so this will definitely keep me busy till Destiny comes out the beginning of the September. For sure, this will definitely keep me quite busy. But that's all I have for you guys. Again, check out the website at comicbooksavant.com. Follow me on Instagram at comicbooksavant. Also, check out the Facebook page and the discussion group. It is facebook.com, comicbooksavant. You don't have a custom URL for the discussion group. Just search for Comic Book Savant or Comic Book Savant discussion. It should come up if you just do a search for Comic Book Savant and check it out. And join the group, and join the conversation. It's about 15 or so people in there now. Come add to the discussion, because I'm going to be throwing out topics that I want to cover in future shows to get your input, and you guys can throw topics out there that you might want me to cover. So it's a give and take type thing. So definitely check all that out. Also, check out the YouTube channel. It'll be an Injustice video up this week. Should have it out by Thursday. That's the schedule I'm trying to keep with, too. So you'll get this episode. I'm recording it Tuesday morning. You should get it by tonight. And then the video, Comic Book Savant video, will be dropping by Thursday. Probably by Thursday evening. So be on the lookout for that. And again, it'll be more about injustice, just giving you a visual on some of the things that I'm telling you about, and some of the things I forget to cover, I can cover in the video. So that's all I have for you guys this week. I'll see you again for another episode of Comic Book Savant. You guys take care and have a good week.
And into lyrical wholeness.